We're back. We're back. Wessex Ways, episode 42 million, something like that. I think we gave up counting.
I think we've given up episodes, but this is nonetheless remains Wessex Ways.
This remains Wessex Ways, and once again, I think we know, small apology to our listeners and for the few that we have on YouTube as well. Hello. But Kate, unfortunately, cannot make this one either.
Mate.
One day we will be able to schedule a meeting with the three of us again.
Absolutely, we shall plod on,
yes.
Of course.
Yes.
So yeah, welcome to Wessex Ways, where we just waffle about Wessex.
Waffle about Wessex.
Stuff. Waffle about Wessex.
Have you just invented a new tagline there?
Yeah.
Wessex
Waffle.
Wessex Waffle.
Yeah.
Well,
which can be anything really, can't it? We're not specifically Wessex. We're not specifically any type of history which you would class as this is Wessex in terms of history. It's just anything in the landscape that we like, lumps, bumps and stuff.
How would you classify Wessex then?
I don't know. South of England.
South of England, there we go.
South of England because I live here.
It sounds better than the South of England Ways podcast, doesn't it?
South of England
Ways.
There's
a bit of a nod towards history as well in our
exactly.
podcast.
I like it. You come up with the name, Headley.
I did.
And it was genius. I loved it.
Well, there we go. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
You've been busy with some videos, obviously.
As you do.
As you do. So I'm going to ask you about a few of your videos, if that's all right.
Oh, of course.
You did one that was quite thought-provoking on UK's Area 51.
Oh, God, yeah.
Is that Boscombe Down?
No,
sorry.
No, but a lot of people said it should have been.
No, okay.
Because if you want to get as a comparison, because I didn't really know what Area 51 is. Area 51, it's just a tag, wasn't it? It's just a name of the title of a video. But everyone's saying, well, now Area 51 is about testing air technology. And they said, well, that should be Boscombe Down then. I was like, oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. But no, it was about Porton Down. Do you know what? Yeah. I love the landscape around the area. You know, just this side of Salisbury Plain, let's say. And I thought, oh, well, let's do a little video on the landscape around it. And then I kind of delved into the history of it, stuff that's happened, and it all kind of shaped into just a potted history of Porton Down.
Not a big area, is it? I mean, compared to somewhere like Salisbury Plain, it's about, a fifth the size?
If that.
Yeah,
well, I think it was like 28 square kilometres. And when you think about 28 square kilometres, it's not that big, is it?
No.
I mean, what's 28 square kilometres? 5.5 by 5.5 miles, kilometres.
Yeah.
So it's not a big area, but it's still a fascinating landscape, and there's so much there. And I found out all these random quirks around it. Nothing to do with Porton Down. And I thought, well, it'd be great to put those in a video, just stick them in the video. Like the whole Smuggler's Lane thing where the Hampshire-Wiltshire border goes right through the middle of Porton Down, and it used to be an old smuggler's route, apparently. And I thought, I'd love to get that into a video. How can I do that? And then all of a sudden we have the UK's Area 51.
Yes, with an interesting history, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's more kind of your ilk almost, Headley. Kind of like, I say war history, but that kind of things. Because you did a topic on Greenham Common once.
Greenham Common, yep.
And that kind of ties in quite well, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To a degree.
I can only say so much, I'm a signatory of the OSA, so I can't.
But what I'm saying is that's kind of an interest to you, perhaps more than me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Greenham Common, I mean, for those who haven't listened to it, I think it was the previous episode or the one before, I can't remember which one.
Yeah, got a
little bit on Greenham Common. So the other video I was looking at of yours, in fact, there's a few of them. We'll come on to that one in a minute that you've got the maps for, but you had a little bit of a pot around Stonehenge area, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, wasn't that the coolest thing ever?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I'll see someone banging about upstairs. I wonder what that noise was. That's what you're tapping for. Sometimes a topic just hits you in the face and you're like, oh my goodness me, how cool is that? And I saw a newspaper article, one of these like terrible local papers, and it was just a clickbaited headline, and I just thought, oh my goodness me, I've been drawn into that story by that headline. I'm nicking the headline and I'm going to actually uncover what it is.
So the area you were looking at was just north of Woodhenge, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, it surrounded Woodhenge. It was...
Well, it's big, wasn't it? It was huge,
It was called something. I've on my dim. What it was called? The video was called something like Stonehenge just got a lot weirder because it very much ties in with Stonehenge. But yeah, the focus and the centre of the video, as you say, was just north of Woodhenge, Durrington Walls.
Yes.
And I always thought that Durrington Walls was, I don't even know, years ago I thought, well, maybe it's a hill fort or whatever. But obviously it's effectively it's a henge. So Durrington Walls, it looks for all intents and purposes like Avebury. With a bank on the outside and a ditch on the inside. It's on a significant slope. From one side to the other is a 30-metre elevation difference going down to the River Avon. And there's an avenue going down. They uncovered an avenue. Mike Bucker Pearson uncovered an avenue going down from Durrington Walls to the avenue, to the Avon, which obviously tied in very well with Stonehenge, because that has an avenue down to the Avon too. So, and there was obviously lots of Neolithic houses in that area and within the circle. It was before the banks. It was surrounded in huge trees, 300 post holes, massive trees stuck in the ground, and which only lasted 50 years. Took up the trees. Now we don't want trees on the outside. Now we'll have a big old bank, and it's just insane. But that wasn't even what the video was about, because I thought, I need to tell all that to give the context. So then, like a mile away from Durrington Walls, this centre for these sort of late Neolithic people, early Bronze, they found a pit, but they just thought the pit was like an old bit of a Bronze Age barrow or something like that. And then years later, they went, oh, there's another pit. Again, didn't really put two and two together, but all of a sudden, after finding two or three more, they seemed to form an arc. And the arc was very much correlating a mile away with Durrington Walls. And then again, an era later, in terms of our lifetime, they found some on the north side. Once again, an arc. And it made this beautiful circle. But a pit of pits, 20 pits around Durrington Walls, a mile away from them in a circle. We're talking like 6 or 7 metres deep, which is like the size of a house, 20 metres across. That alone says, God, that's some organisation here.
Yeah.
But then to have them in a very neat circle around Durrington Walls is insane. And I was just blown away by this story. So I'm like, wow, I've got to tell this story. And,
it's like, I was looking, as you were doing the video, I was looking on a map. And I was surprised how far out I had to zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, this makes Avebury look tiny. This is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think, though, what did they do this elsewhere? Now I've just thought, did they do this around Avebury and we just haven't noticed yet?
No.
Or any other henges?
Maybe it's it's not just Alex Langlands that's made the big discovery this week. It's, this time it's you as well, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I definitely didn't make the discovery, but I mean, it's a heck of a discovery. I love it.
It is, yeah.
But, the question is, was this a normal practice in that era that they would build pits? Why did they build the pits?
And they're neatly lined up as well, aren't they?
They're in a very neat arc of a circle around Durrington Walls.
So if it was more sort of industrial, you'd have pits all over the place. Whereas this, this is
if it's purely functional,
deliberately, So
you're thinking, well, just build a pit and we're going to drive our oryx and animals into it, and sheep or bovine or whatever. I'm not really expert on that, but this was very well structured and purpose. So even if you are still doing that, so my conclusion at the end was, well, it is for driving bovines and oryx and that to capture because their bones are in them, but also we've got a structure to it, so maybe it lives in the same line as ritual. Maybe feasting and actual some kind of the ritual of feasting was a thing. So we're going to do it very specifically a distance from our home. Yeah. And did they do it elsewhere? I need to look at Avebury now, Hadley.
You do.
Let's just stop the podcast immediately. I need to go look at Avebury. Did they do the same thing?
We've probably not stopped the podcast right now.
I'm obviously kidding.
Don't want to shortchange our listeners because they pay a lot of. Well, they don't pay money, actually. They're freelance.
Oh, well, they should do.
Yeah, should do.
They just pay money.
We used to do a buy me a coffee thing for Wessex.
But so that's a good point. So speaking of discoveries, could you zip quickly to Mr. Langlands?
Yeah, so
that's interesting.
Now, let me get this. I haven't read it entirely on it, but you know how you find something down the sofa that you've lost. You find like a £5 note.
It's never a £5.
He found a massive.
It's normally 50p.
He found a massive Roman villa.
That's mad.
It's absolutely crazy.
But we're not talking a little house, a little villa.
No. We're talking a massive place, a place of significant importance as well.
Yes.
I don't know much about it. I'm very poorly read on it ahead of this slightly impromptu podcast, so I haven't come prepared for that. Maybe it's something we'll talk about in the next one properly. But yeah, he messaged me and he literally he's very, you know how very humble he is. Just sent me a message, said, "Hi Heads, check this out," and he just put the link, and that's it. I'm like, oh my goodness! And
so the link was to what?
It was to the BBC news site.
So it's on the news.
It was on the news, and he was interviewed on the news as well.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's huge. So I think we're probably, because I don't know too much about it at the moment. This is kind of early days, so I'll read up on it, and maybe on the next one that can be my secret.
Yeah.
Well, not secret because I've just told you, but it can be my location, can't it?
Interesting, isn't it? Really, because I did see an article, so maybe it was probably the same one. And the lidar images are amazing. It's like crystal clear.
Yeah.
So it just shows you a number of things, but there's still stuff to be discovered by a long way. You know, as per the whole, you know, Stonehenge or Durrington walled pits, but then more. I think more modern, but more.
There's kind of an assumption that we found everything. I think with all the modern technology, mapping and everything, you think that every square inch of the UK is completely covered. We know everything.
Yeah.
And then we find big, discoveries happening probably at a quicker frequency than ever in history. Sort of thing.
Because I guess LiDAR in a public viewing, we can all sit at a computer and look at it sense.
Yeah.
And the scale that we can today is only a few years old. We've had LiDAR probably for a decade in terms of being able to view it online, but it's always been patchy. Oh, that area is not covered yet. That area is not covered yet. But all of a sudden now, people are discovering new Roman roads left, right and centre and Roman villas on a significant scale like Mr. Langland's, Dr. Langland's. Amazing. Love it.
Yeah. I was going to tell you about Sam Walks a Lot. Took me on a little trip.
Cool.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
This is the thing. She didn't tell me where we're going.
Oh, cool.
And I just got my new electric car at the time. So I was like, well, she lives an hour down the road. It's fine. I'll pop down. I'll say, I'll tell you what, Sam, I'll drive. She's filming the biggest video that she's done.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll drive.
Did you get range rage?
Well, yeah. So I was thinking, I've got, 300 miles of range.
Yeah.
But A, not in the winter, and B, I didn't know where we were going. And so I turned up at her place and she jumped in and said, hello, like that. And even then, I didn't know where I was going. She just literally...
So without telling us where her house is, does she live north, south, east, west of you?
She lives sort of southeast of me.
Okay.
And so we set off and I said, I need a postcode or something.
Yeah.
And she put it in and it was like 200 miles.
Really?
You're joking me. So I'm gonna have to recharge at least once, maybe twice. Yeah. Well, no, it recharges in 20 minutes. It's great.
True.
It's really
you
good.
need to find that recharger.
But you need to find the fast charger. Yeah. But anyway, the place we went to was Gad's Hill over in Rochester. And it was the house of Charles Dickens. And it was so funny because I had a non-disclosure thing, so I couldn't tell anyone when I was there or afterwards until the video came out where we were filming. And at the very time, my wife sent me a message saying, we're sitting down watching Christmas Carol. And when I received that message, I was sitting at the desk it was written at.
Oh, cool.
And it was an amazing place. And it wasn't one of her sort of spooky videos. It was kind of one of these... it was just because it was such an amazing place. It was... and the house was just how he liked it. When he was a kid, he always used to walk past that house and he wanted it. And then when he obviously, he became quite wealthy, he then bought the house and, it's got weather vanes and conservatories.
Did he become wealthy through writing?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, he's
kind of cool.
And it was amazing. We saw the rooms that he did plays in and everything. And he had a little, a tunnel built from his garden underneath the road.
Cool.
So a summer house the other side allegedly with a sea view. And so we were using the drone to see whether or not that summer house actually had a sea view at the time, sort of thing. Yeah. Because there's trees around it now and there's, building. Yeah. But it was an amazing day out. Absolutely amazing day out. And I didn't know much about Charles Dickens. Yeah. But I've learned so much about him. Not all good, I'll be honest with you. He was, with money and power comes, other things, should we say.
Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you a funny story in a minute. But
but anyways, it was a really good day out and the video did really, really well. And she did various behind the scenes videos and stuff. And it was just, I thought it was something that maybe Wessex Ways listeners would like to look at and maybe look up Gad's Hill and see the house yourself and look at Sam's video. I'm not being paid to promote it.
We can put the link in the description.
We can put a link down below to the video. But really, really good day out.
So he was in a railway crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he died exactly a year after that.
He died in his house, laying on
Did he?
like a shea.
What did he die of? Do you know? Because
I don't know.
Because they reckon that. Yeah, he never sort of recovered mentally from the crash.
No,
because he was in a river and all sorts. Like they were, I think they were laying new track, or they were laying like new sleepers because it was obviously very early railways, and I think they'd not secured it properly or something, and the train came off the rails into a river and all sorts. So he was pretty scarred by that.
I was laying there on the couch that he died on.
Wow,
really strange.
A year on from that crash.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I'm more of a year on. I'm not that old. But yeah, I know I'm older.
You've done well then.
I'm not. I did turn significant birthday.
You did. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
Headley is just turned 30. Something.
30-something. 30-20, I think, officially
30-20.
you'd call it. But yeah, spent it up with a friend of mine and the Reverend Warren Brand up in a hill fort, Celtic hill fort on a mountain with fairy lights around the tent. I had, I don't know how he did it. I mean, I've obviously got a video on it, but we're sitting there and your backpacks are full. They're heavy, they're full. You can't squeeze anything else in. So you always get the lightest camping gear, the strongest stuff.
Yeah.
And he came to my little one-man tent and we're both squeezed in it. And then from nowhere, he brings out a massive birthday cake with 50 candles and a card and everything. I'm like, how did you get all that up here? But yeah.
I mean, he could have baked it there, hadn't he?
Well, yeah, he could have.
He could have been.
He brings
back,
his kitchen up,
baking away, and
yeah, exactly.
Flour and milk and whatever else you put in a cake, bit of sugar.
So
excellent.
You've got in front of us. You've got. Let me just have a look at this map. You've got a map, and Scotland appears to be pointing off at a right angle.
Yeah, I love this.
This is down to Ptolemy, isn't it?
This is down. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well,
kind of.
Yes. He is, as they would say in industry, the root cause of the problem, not necessarily to blame. And I've looked at these maps for years and years and never really kind of like looked into exactly why. Like I've seen these and I've known that, Scotland on maps, in sort of, medieval period was facing the wrong way. Never really sort of understood why, just sort of accepted it as just a thing for whatever reason they got it wrong. Because they probably got a lot of other bits wrong, right?
Yeah. So for people listening, I mean, the maps, and as you say, it's not just that map. It was accepted for 1,500 years or something.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, at least 1,000.
So you got the British Isles going south to north, but then Scotland veers off at a right angle to the east. So it looks like the letter R.
Simple as that, isn't it, really? Yeah. It literally goes boom, straight off to the east. You get to probably, I don't know, Cumbria and a bit further. And you'd expect to carry on going north, but you don't. You go immediately to the right, 90 degrees to the right. And what's weird is, really weird, I found super weird, is I've done a lot on a guy called Pythias lately, who was let's call it an Iron Age traveller. He was a Greek dude, left Marseille and wanted to travel and sort of explore, and he explored Britain, amongst other places. And he described Britain as a triangle. So he did not describe Britain like this. To the best of our knowledge at all. He definitely didn't. He described it as a triangle, and he was referring to the bottom of the triangle from Kent, down to Cornwall. So why then all of a sudden later do we have Pythias not drawing a map but giving us these coordinates? The answer is he didn't give us those coordinates. He gave us coordinates that he put slightly too far north, 4 degrees too far north.
So you're effectively... His map is stretching Scotland.
Yeah, by a long way, because obviously as the further north you go, the tighter the longitude gets, and therefore you're kind of squeezing it north.
So a map of Britain back then, had it been the way it would have looked like Marge Simpson.
Totally. Yeah. Well, yeah, but with it going complete. Yeah. It would. And when everyone tries to draw the maps from his writings and his longitude and latitudes, they were like, well, this doesn't work. We know Scotland doesn't look like this. It's almost going to the North Pole, kind of stupid.
So he wasn't rejected, though. They didn't reject what he did.
No, because they said, well, he put down 8,000 points on his maps, and they look good. They're right, So this can't be wrong. Ptolemy wouldn't have got this wrong. But what do we do? Because we can't fit it onto our maps because it looks stupid beyond. It just goes to the North Pole beyond. Because all of his places in Scotland Well, they were about the right distance from each other, but not when you stretched them out to the north. So all these map makers said, it's all right, guys, we got a plan, we can sort this. It works. All of these places match up and it works if we turn it to the right.
Right.
And we just flip the map to the right. Well, hang on, all of a sudden now all the distances between each other, all these sort of landmarks or towns or cities or whatever, they now all work. So they just, okay, that works. We'll just leave it like this for the time being. 1,000 years later, we're still doing it. We're still going, okay. So even Mercator, who did the whole projection, he was still mapping some of his maps with Wonky Scotland, which I couldn't get, because then I've got a copy of the Goth map downstairs. And the Goth map dates from 1360 onwards. And that was correct. Like, Scotland looks completely fine. And yet for another 200 or 300 years beyond that, we're still mapping Wonky Scotland, and it didn't all match up. So I thought, right, okay, we need to do a deep dive, Headley. I need to do a deep dive. So I did. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Really fascinating. And I think sometimes, like, this is a good video for me to make in the winter when I don't want to go outside. I'm like, right, okay. I can tell this story using maps and visuals, and I kind of like that. And it worked well. For the first time, one of these indoor mappy visual ones actually worked well. But as ever, it was down to the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because this video started in 10th place. I was like, oh, God, here we go again. Indoor video with maps, people don't like it.
Yeah.
And after a day, I changed the thumbnail, made it look like Marge Simpson, but with a very wonky hair. And I just put on the thumbnail, explain this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Because people wanted to explain it.
Yeah.
Or...
So your weakness to bad weather actually paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
I bet you're glad that they didn't vote for you to do the England-Wales border, because that would have had you climbing in the winter up to
I've been meaning to do
Black
that.
Hill.
Have I actually told you? I'm not going to give the whole story away, but I've actually told you what that is about yet.
Yeah, I think, well, I originally, I think I brought it to you from a Facebook post, because you did. I climbed up there with Warren again and my friend Neil. And I was, when I got back, I was looking up, this... for a Wessex Ways podcast, and I suddenly found, I'm not going to give anything away, but there was a video about it, and so I was like, Paul, have a look at this.
That was it, perfect. That's where the idea came from.
That will involve you climbing up a long way.
I'm fine with that, because we're going to go up Offers Dyke for a bit, aren't we? I think we go along the Offers Dyke path. Yeah. But so in essence, a listener, Headley sent me a link probably 2 years ago.
Yes.
Saying, Paul, have a look at this. It's great. There's a really quirky article about this the border between England and Scotland at a specific place, and it's wrong. And I thought, oh my goodness me, that is a great little story to tell. But since that point, we've never actually got around to doing it. I think spring, Headley, realistically, do you think so?
I think you'll be fine in spring. Yeah, I've got, because I'll do it anytime. I've got spikes and
but I wouldn't be up for a bit of wet weather, but I'm not sure you can tell the story effectively, because I want to get a drone up. I want to do all the good things you want to do with cameras.
It's exceptionally windy up there a lot of the time as well. So
we might need to nick your drone then, because mine would just blow away back into England.
Definitely, we'll take my drone.
But we need a nice day, because or we need a day that isn't raining. Yeah.
Although, for getting drone shots, maybe viewers would like to see you suffer, and maybe that would pull some views.
I'm sure they would.
Just put in the comments below. Would you like to see Paul Whitewick suffering in adverse weather conditions? Because I've got so many potential plans for him if we agree to that.
I'll be in a cosy hotel, Headley. Don't get me wrong.
No,
I'll be in Holiday Inn, Premier Inn, Travelodge. I'm not fussy. Well, but I'll be in a nice cosy bed, Headley, and I'll have a little TV at the end of my bed. I
can make you a nice cosy bed with hot food and everything.
It'll be 900 metres above sea level.
It will. And you'll be praying for your life.
Whereas I could be 100 metres
50 mile an hour winds.
Exactly.
Scream in with minus 13 wind chill. You love it. You love it.
So I won't care where the border is, will I?
No, suddenly this video is never going to be made, is it? But I remember you and I did the video of the source of the Thames, didn't we?
Yeah.
In fact, I think our first podcast was probably about that. Oh, so this is going back many years, 3-4 years at least.
Yeah.
We questioned the official source of the River Thames, and everyone says that it's Thames Head. Then we went to Seven Springs.
Yes.
And and then I surprised you, because I kind of wrote the plan for the day. And we got to Seven Springs and like, nope, it's not here, it's here. Then we go to there, no, it's not there, it's there. And that was really cold weather, that was.
We found a few different potentials, didn't we? Star College, is it?
Star, something like that.
But then we went even further, I think, and it's like, well, hang on a minute.
The Cally Hill Plantation.
Yeah, I mean, number one, it's clearly not Thames Ed.
No.
Unequivocally. No. It's probably not even Star College, it's probably even further because, if it's going into a spring that's going into the River Thames effectively, then it's furthest away from the tributary.
Yeah.
It's the source of the Thames.
And that, I mean, if only that Cally Hill Plantation had linked up, that spring that we saw on the hill, if that had linked up above ground, because we set the rules beforehand, didn't we? It's got to be a flow of water above the ground unbroken, apart from bridges and stuff.
Yes.
So had that have been an unbroken bit of water, that would have been a spectacular place for the start of the Thames.
You'd want to go there today, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And have a good look, because now, I mean, we've had a lot of water lately.
Yeah. But then Thames Head hardly ever has water. If you go to Thames Head, in the winter when there's a lot of rain, you get a kind of puddles there and a flow and maybe a bit of flooding. Yeah. It doesn't feel like the source of a river. But
do you know what? This really ties in well with the map topic. Because this stuck around for 1,300 years or whatever, Wonky Scotland, because of what? Because of antiquity.
Yeah.
So no one really connected it because they said, well, Ptolemy's right, so we're not going to correct it because whatever. And here we are again now. John Leland in the 1600s declared that the Thames Head was the source of the Thames because he was writing for the king.
Bending the ear of the king at the time, yes.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So and no one's ever changed it. OS maps today won't change it despite the fact that it clearly is wrong. They're just sticking with antiquity of our times. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Do you know, I think we need to follow this up.
We should, right? We should. This is another video, right, Headley? You're right. We've already established, so we go there again. Yeah. So this is an idea for listeners. This is just an idea in the making. So just suck it up and get on with it, right? So we can do a brief intro. Yeah. We have already established that the source of the Thames is wrong.
Is the third video you've made on this because you referenced the first one. Yeah. And then you said, because I came along and said, hang on a minute, you're wrong because of this. Yeah. And this will be your third video on the source of the Thames.
So we put that into a brief 1 minute intro nutshell. Yeah. Me and Edley have already discussed that this is wrong. We know it's wrong. We can prove it. Longest tributary, blah, 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 from the source is not a Thames Head. It is not even Seven Springs. It could be further. But go and walk in the landscape again because make a nice visual. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. 1 minute. And then we go, hang on a minute. And I go, Headley, this reminds me of the old maps from there because we're sticking with antiquity. We could be doing it again today because OS maps insist. So we write a letter to OS or an email or both.
And the River Thames Society.
And them.
Yeah.
A few people. Let's pick a few people.
We're going to lose friends on this, aren't we?
Who cares? The government, everybody that could be a matter and go, right, we would like to propose that this is changed on the maps. How do we go about this? There's your video. Can we change? Headley.
Can we just... Apologies in advance to the landlord and owner of the Thames Head pub near Thames Head.
Apologies probably
we don't want to take your business away from them. But
apologies to that guy that walks the Thames.
The bit that's also crucial for me, and it depends how we define the source of the river, and we could have a look at other rivers to try and work this out.
Why not? Yeah, but there's only one definition.
Yeah, but it's where the two rivers meet. So you've got the Thames, inverted commas, from Thames Head, from Gloucestershire, meeting the river... Is it
Colne?
Yeah, that's it. Coming from the north, which has the greater flow where they meet?
Doesn't matter about flow.
If it doesn't matter about flow,
look at the Oxford English Dictionary.
Then Thames Head is wrong.
Yeah, Oxford. We've got to go with the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah,
which states
we need to
the source of the longest tributary furthest away from the source. No, from the what's the other end of a river?
The estuary.
Yeah, right. So what is the furthest away point? So we've already established it's wrong, Headley. We're not arguing about that. We're saying, can we change the source of the Thames?
Not
officially.
Not to make your life hard, but I've also been looking at the River Severn and it has a similar thing. But
really?
Yeah.
I thought the River Severn was quite simple.
It is quite simple. It starts up on Plumloan, the mountain in mid Wales.
Yes.
But once again, there's a tributary about a mile down that comes from the north, and it's even longer.
It sticks. This is it. Because we want to change antiquity. We want to do what this did. or didn't do. We want to change the maps.
We're going to get our names in history.
How easy is it to change the source of a river on a map officially?
Yeah.
Right, we're in it.
And if you're watching this in 20 years' time, in
were we successful?
2046, and we're both in prison and old, hello. Right. So, can I move on to?
You can move on because we need to write this down.
But you've okay.
Video number 3 in the making.
We've got to do this.
We can do this sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, like
we need to because of the weather, because we can't do it in the summer because it's just guesswork.
Yeah, it needs to be in the spring.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So.
Right. Okay. I went on a walk. Been walking with a few different people. A lady called Louise went for a walk with yesterday, and we walked from Swinkham Church in the Chilterns down to
Swinkham, West Swinkham.
It's not far from Ulm.
I'm going to put
not far from Benson.
Oh, I know. Benson,
Wallingford.
Benson.
Yeah,
I'll stop at Benson because there's a nice Mackey's there.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, listeners.
That's fine. You know your McDonald's. I know my pubs.
What is it called?
Swinkham.
Swinkham.
This isn't actually the story I'm going to tell, but it's a nice way to start. But
Swinkham.
Swinkham. Anyway,
you carry on. I'm looking on the map.
So we walked from there to the ruins of St James's at Bix's Bottom, which again, village that disappeared. But we walked back in. It was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful countryside.
Where did you start, Eddie? Sorry to be plain.
You know, people don't like treasure hunt, Paul.
No, but
we've killed it.
I'm playing treasure hunt myself.
Goodness me!
Where did you start? Sorry, where did you start? So
invaders
Swinkham down.
Right. Okay. It's go to Ulm.
Yep, found it.
And then look sort of 2 miles to the east of.
Yeah. I can see Swinkham down.
Yeah. There's
where
a
do
church
you park? Give me a parking
You park
space.
at the church. There's a church there.
In Elmcombe.
In Swinkham.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. And hello to Dan Thompson, the vicar of that church. So anyway, that walk aside, whilst Paul is labouring with that, we did another walk, myself and Louise.
Oh God, don't do that, Headley. You can't move away from one walk to another.
I was on my subject.
I'm still. Do you know what I've seen in Swinkham Down?
Terrible entertainment. This really is.
Swinkham Down.
Yeah.
Has like a mile-long earthwork, Headley. What is that?
It does. I don't know. I think it's Grimsditch.
You've just baited me there.
I did slightly bait you into that.
Yeah, and I'm there, and then you're like, sorry, Paul. And
when you know your friend's OCD well enough to bait them into something like that. So that earthwork, that's part of Grimsditch, I think. And I know WC21 Darren did one of his early videos around that era when he had 2 followers and a goat, not 25,000 that he's got now. But anyway, we also went on another walk, and I'm going to mention this pub because I've had several comments about it. We did a walk up the Ridgeway up Streatley Warren, and we went to the Bell at Aldworth. So Aldworth, it's a lovely village. It's quite high up.
Headley, sorry.
Oh, God. Sorry, carry on.
Where's the church?
You got an OS map?
Yeah.
It's where the cross is.
What? I can't see a cross.
Give me your phone.
Can't see a cross. There's Swinkham down.
Look, to our listeners and viewers, I'm very, very sorry.
I'm not. Because you got yourself to blame for this, Headley. That's the village there.
Swinkham House.
Oh, fine. I would look at...
Right, well, it's where it says Church Wood.
That's fine.
There's a church there somewhere.
That'll do. Right, carry on, as you were.
Right. So, oh, goodness me, what was I talking about? The Bell, Aldworth. So, it's a lovely pub. So, I think it's somewhere that people should go out their way to go and visit. Now, it's got its pros and cons. So the Bell it's a Grade 2 listed building. It's also got a Grade 2 listed interior as well. Now, I think when it was built, people were maybe a little bit smaller and people were maybe more comfortable with, shall we say, an intimate environment.
Yep.
And so the inside of the Bell is really, really quite tight, but it's all wooden panelled, and they haven't changed the decor in about 150 years, I think it is. So you've kind of got the bar is in this sort of it's a hatch system in the middle of the pub, and it's between 2 saloon bars. And one of the saloon bars, both the saloon bars, got these great big old fireplaces that haven't been changed as well. And it's been run by the Macaulay family, I think, for 250 years.
Whoa.
So Camera picked up on this, the campaign for Real Ale. It was National Pub of the Year in 1990 and 2019. You're still looking at maps, aren't you?
Yeah, but do you know why, Headley?
Why?
Because you've done it again. You've done this on purpose. Now I know you've done it on purpose. Now
you've got a phone addiction.
Now it's not a coincidence.
You've got a phone addiction.
No.
No.
You know what's next to Aldworth? Like a 3 mile long ditch, Headley.
Oh, Christ.
It's not a coincidence. You've done this on purpose.
Yep.
Look at it.
Okay,
It's
you've got
huge.
a.
It circles Aldworth.
I know, it's a historic area. We'll have a look. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? So it's Canberra's National Pub of the Year,
Amazing.
1990 and 2019.
No one cares about pubs of the year, Headley. Do you know what they care about? They care about ditches.
I guarantee they care about pubs as well. But pubs and
Pubs and ditches,
two
new
birds,
feature.
one stone. We'll mix the ditches and the pub. But let me just finish with the pub. So it was Canberra's local pub of the year for countless years, and they got all the certificates inside hanging up. And it's also on Canberra's list of historic pub interiors as well. So you can imagine it's got a space out the front where maybe stagecoaches would turn up and people coming along the Ridgeway and that. And it's just wonderful. Now, they're famous for their... first of all, they've got an outside toilet. So if you need a wee, you're going to get cold. But they do these filled rolls, which whenever I go there, I get... And my friend Louise, she said, oh, well, do they do brie? I'm like, I think they do brie. I said, but you're going to have cheese. And she said, what do you mean? So got these cheese rolls. And they do it the way they used to do it 100 plus years ago.
Okay.
It's a freshly baked cob or roll or whatever we call it.
Depends where you are in the country.
Yeah. And an entire block of brie in the middle.
Yeah.
Not just a slice of it, not just a bit of melted brie, an entire block of locally produced brie smacked in the middle of this roll. And the same with cheddar. You get a block of cheddar in a roll, and then you get the sort of
that sounds good to me, Headley.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I went there with Warren. I go everywhere with Warren. But it's just the experience I like.
Yeah.
It's usually quite crowded, quite warm. I've seen a few famous people in there as well.
Which is interesting because it's not a big conurbation, is it?
No, it's not.
Do you know what I mean? It's and it's also a bit in the middle of nowhere.
And surrounded by ditches.
Surrounded by ditches. The next big... You are kind of in the middle of nowhere, Headley.
Yeah.
To a degree.
It's remote.
Yeah,
it's
like
very remote.
Goring is what? 8 miles. Newbury's in the other direction, 8 miles.
So this is why I'm recommending it to people who like walking, because a really good walk is to park somewhere down at Streatley Warren, or if you're really fit, as you say, down at Goring, and walk up to the pub, maybe along the Ridgeway or other paths.
Yeah.
Have lunch at the pub. Not paid by the pub to say this. I did do...
Maybe one day we will be, Headley.
I think we have to, yeah.
Maybe one day we'll be... No, I mean, maybe one day we'll be paid by a pub.
One day.
Or somebody.
Yeah.
To promote.
Yeah. But, there are a lot of ditches around there, a lot of unexplained ditches. If you look at Unhill Woods, I'm not going to give you a location because we'd be here for hours, but Unhill Woods nearby, again, quite high up, has got a whole series of ditches, and they seem to align to the west with Grimm's Ditch, which goes along the sort of the scarp of the Downs.
Yeah.
So it is Grimm's Ditchy.
It's very Grimm's Ditchy, isn't it?
It is.
Unhill Wood. Unhill Wood, it looks like it's got less than the wood next to the actual village you're talking about.
Okay.
Unhill Wood, sorry. So, literally a kilometre or less, or mile southeast of Aldworth.
Yeah.
Is Foxborough Copse, Portobello Wood, Long Copse, and there's miles of ditches. 2 Grimm's ditches sort of running parallel to each other.
For those not watching this on YouTube, Paul's in this sort of state of trance at the moment, looking at his phone.
3 or 4 kilometres, Headley.
Yeah.
That's mad. I wonder how well that lines up with things like Wanstead.
I think
way over there.
There's also a lot of Roman field systems around there, so it's difficult to know what is Iron Age, what's Roman, and of course because of recent discoveries with Wanstead, what's maybe early Saxon as well.
Yes.
So
Love it.
Almost sound like I know what I'm talking about there.
Oh, right, it's all good. A lot of these things we use obviously clearly more than once.
Yeah.
So why not? But that's an amazing little landscape, isn't it? Yeah, I've driven that way many times. Because if I like go up, I don't know, Chilterns, I'll go that way.
Yeah.
Through that village, past the pub.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the earthworks around there are both a mixture of BC and AD.
Really?
Yeah.
What? And BCE and CE?
Sorry, I forgot you're woke.
Well, interesting. My video.
You've been accused of being woke for using...
Oh, for years, though. But
whatever.
the thing is, as you'll have seen in the video that I produced as we're talking today, which will be out this Sunday coming,
Right.
which is a discussion purely based on that topic.
So we won't mention too much now.
Well, we can do, because this won't be out before Sunday. Yeah. So the video will be out.
The two schools of thought are BCE and CE.
Yep.
So before 0, after 0, and BCAD.
Yes. And people. So if I say BC and AD in a video, no one says anything. Just carry on like the world carries on. If I say BCE or CE, I will get hundreds of comments saying, "Oh my God, you're a woke lefty. What are you trying to do? Erase our heritage, erase Christianity."
The more comments you get, the more the algorithm.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it works. Isn't it? But like, it's weird, because I thought, you know what, I need to try and understand this a bit better, because I was brought up in a Christian family, for goodness sake. I'm not trying to erase. How many times do I go out in a video, find a church and go, wow, I love this. I'm not trying to erase Christianity. That's one thing I can assure you. So I thought, well, let's try and find out what they both mean, when they both came about, so I can put some kind of semblance onto this myself and understand it myself, and then maybe decide what I should be using. What should I be using? Because I don't know. All right. I've used BC and AD all my life because I have. But when I started doing videos around archaeology, I noticed the terminology of BC and CE, and it just kind of then flowed off my mouth. I didn't aim to use either in a authoritative way. I'm right, I'm wrong, you're right, you're right. Nothing.
Well, there isn't a right. It's like kilometres and miles.
That's kind of where my video goes,
I used to be a very keen road cyclist, and we used to cycle the Alps and the Pyrenees. And we did everything in kilometres, because everything's in kilometres. And you get used to it. And, when you start mentioning that back here, I get called all sort of names because I'm not using miles. But
pints of milk, litres of paint, stone and pounds.
There's
kilos.
No right or wrong. It's like they've both existed a long time.
They both existed, and you can have that in your head. But here's the thing: so I learned, because I didn't really know when BCE came about. I thought, oh, maybe it's got a new academic thing. I think one of the earliest places I found BCE being used was 1615.
Wow,
that's 400 and something years ago. So it's not a new thing to try and get rid of Christianity.
1615 BCE.
1615 CE.
CE, beg your pardon. You got me.
And then all of it. But the reason why they were doing this is because they said, we're joining up science around the world. There's a lot of different religions about that don't understand what we're talking about when we're talking about Anno Domini. What does that mean? What do you mean after Christ? Who's Christ? So they just said, let's just do Common Era. The dates can stay the same. We'll just call it Common Era. So, I don't know, the Chinese could understand us, or the Islamic. But all these, I know nothing about it, don't profess to know nothing about that, other religions as much. But it was never designed to sort of wipe out. It was just designed to be inclusive of other religions other than our own. And it's never going to wipe out BC and AD. And my decision was, I'm going to just carry on using both, because one flows off the tongue there, and after reading an academic paper, that flows off the tongue. Exactly as you said, where you go on a bike ride and you're doing kilometres.
But it doesn't tie into being woke or anything.
Oh, no, apparently it does, Headley.
Does it? So,
I've got hundreds of comments where I've been called woke.
So does that mean if I use BC and AD, I'm a right-wing Nazi extremist? Or
exactly. It's too polar, isn't it? But here's the other thing as well. Without getting political, here's the other thing as well. Our question in the video said, should I use BCE or CE? Should I go back an era, actually, and use BC and AD? Or maybe I should go back another era and use relative to the king in power now. So I would say, in the third year of King, whatever his name is, Philip. Or should I, what is our current king? Charles. Should I then say in the third year of King Charles, or whatever year we're in? Or should I go back in even another era, Headley, and use just seasons? Because I'm now in prehistory, in the Iron Age and in the Bronze Age. People have picked a specific era that aligns with what they did when they were kids and what they grew up as, and stuck with that. But if you're going to measure something in miles, Headley, well, what mile are you going to use? Medieval ones, Roman one. That's true. It's like it's so ridiculous to have that argument when it doesn't really matter.
Do your next video entirely in Latin or Saxon or something. Just
well, I'm just sticking to my history, my heritage, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't actively use either. Actively, I use both because they just roll off the tongue when I'm talking about something. So that's my decision.
Nice.
Controversial. There it is.
I was going to mention something about reintroduction of apex predators. I've got a couple of topics. I think I'll probably leave one for next time because somebody in the comments mentioned Hengistbury Head. So I've done a few sort of bits on it, but I haven't been there recently. So
save that there because I'll have a look at that too. Yeah.
But the apex predators thing, I'm quite interested. If you think back in, so we start with, was it red kites? And go back into the 80s to 90s. Yes. Kites were reintroduced into the Chilterns, weren't they? And now you see them everywhere. Loads, we have them at Heathrow. It's not great, but... so I've been pulling information off internet. So it kind of revitalised the species in England because you used to get them back in the 80s and 90s when I went for walks. I remember them in places like Exmoor, Wales, places where there were basically wooded forests and valleys and stuff like that. But they used to be in the Chilterns, and now they're everywhere. So for those that don't know, red kite, they're kind of large, red sort of birds of prey with a forked tail. They look like kites, yeah. So they like, open woodlands, motorways and stuff like that. And they were reintroduced into the Chilterns. Now, they basically bred like mad. They went absolutely crazy. And I don't know how many kites there are now, but you see them all over the south of England. It's spread everywhere. And they do think, I mean, they don't eat things like, cats, dogs and stuff like that, even despite their size. We have them on the local playing field and they just look like big chickens, to be honest with you, when they're on the ground. Yeah. But they eat roadkill. They're scavengers, basically. Yeah. They largely haven't really got the hunting nous, I think, of other birds, and they just there's a lot of roadkill.
You need to be careful with that sort of thing, don't you? But clearly, this is a good case study, right?
I guess they do hunt small animals as well. I guess.
Yeah, but I think as long as, again, I'm not talking with authority on this, but you need to be careful about introducing certain species because obviously there can be quite an imbalance. But I guess this hasn't gone pear-shaped because we haven't heard it's gone pear-shaped. No, it's been 40 years or 30 years.
I think one knock-on effect it's had is it's knocking the buzzard population on its head a bit. I think kites tend to be a bit more dominant than buzzards, and they are kind of taking over the same sort of territory. So, there's far fewer buzzards than...
Then where do you draw a line? Yeah, where do you draw a line?
It's difficult. But then let's take things up another level. So over the last few years, they've started reintroducing white-tailed eagles, sea eagles, from the Isle of Wight. Yep. Now this is much bigger. You're looking at wingspan of almost a small car sort of thing. These things are huge. And I think the aim is to reintroduce 60 of them. So they were native, I believe, to the UK, to southern England as well. And they've been reintroducing them and then GPS tagging them and everything. And I believe there's a delay. You can track them on the map, but there's a bit of a delay, obviously, because some people want to go out and,
I see,
get rid of them. So
fine. So I get it. Yeah.
But they're introducing
so you can see that yourself.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Isle of Wight white-tailed eagle project, I think, on the north of the island.
Love it.
So I've got some notes here I've got from the internet. So the first chicks were hatched, and let's have a look. So they established pairs. So there's several breeding pairs now formed across southern England. Yeah. And mostly around, to begin with, around Poole Harbour, places like that. So they've taken off from the Isle of Wight, gone over to Poole Harbour. Well, I mean, that's where the rich people live anyway, isn't it? So it's natural that they would go there. It's just a very nice place. So they were wiped out by persecution, human persecution in, I think they kind of went extinct in the UK in 1780.
Most things were, weren't they?
Yeah, but unfortunately it's kind of happening again. So between...
I mean, you're never going to stop it.
The end of last year, several of the tagged eagles just disappeared and their trackers were found cut off. So
you know it's clearly sabotage,
so police are looking into it. It's a legal activity. Yeah. So anyone listening to this who's got a particular hate for white-tailed eagles, don't hurt them. You'll know one if you see one. They are absolutely huge. They'd be like, they soar high in the sky very, very slowly. They've got very sort of big square wing. So that's where we are with those. Whether or not it will be successful, we don't know. But maybe we could take that up another level.
Yeah.
For a reintroduction of something rather more interesting.
Well, now's a good time then to mention a very good YouTube channel that I watch from time to time on this very topic. Not just this topic, but it's more environmental stuff than I cover. Leave Curious.
Leaf
He's
Curious.
done a whole load of reintroducing videos.
Wow.
Scotland and such, which is maybe where you were heading.
Well, that's a very good tantric link there. That's good. Leaf Curious.
Leaf Curious, yeah, watch Leaf Curious
Leaf
because
Curious.
exactly what you're
All
talking
right,
about, yeah.
So I'm just sort of finish this off. There's a problem at the moment. Some people class it as a problem, some people don't. Deer population is very high at the moment, extremely high. And I was listening to, I went along to give a talk a few weeks back at this place. And before me, a talk was given by a guy who culls deer. Very controversial, really, because a lot of people, rightly so or wrongly so, don't like the idea of killing nice animals.
So why deer is bad?
Well, they eat the undergrowth a lot.
Yeah.
So they like their woodland areas.
Yeah.
And they eat the undergrowth, so there's no habitat for hedgehogs and stuff like that.
Right. So
that's the argument.
Basically taken
that's
away.
one of the arguments. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so we didn't have, going back a long way, we didn't have this issue here because we had a predator
To the deer
called a lynx. I'm sure we know what a lynx is.
Yep.
It's like a domestic cat on steroids. It's a funny thing. And up in Northumberland, and I believe further north in Scotland,
for sure, yeah.
they're reintroducing lynx.
Yeah.
And there's now a question, should they be reintroduced in the south of England?
It wouldn't last 5 minutes, would it?
So this is
For the same reasons as the bald eagle.
Well, they were originally killed for their coats.
Yeah.
Because lynx got very, very soft, very nice coats. And there's a slight danger that would be an illegal sort of activity there as well. But the point is, they don't, if you've got a small dog, don't worry, they don't go for dogs and stuff like that.
Well, that's small children, because I've got like 5 kids. I
Don't care about children. They can eat as many children as they want.
Oh, they can?
In fact, if we can...
That's fine.
My idea actually would be to reintroduce an apex predator to get the number of children
you've got
down.
some kids that you can
I've got hundreds of children, and I little bastards. There must be a way of getting the population down.
But seriously, go watch Leave Curious.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name. Has
he done something on this or something similar?
This is not all he does.
This is his sort of
He
thing.
does very environmental related videos, like introduction of rainforest, that sort of thing. But he also does, he's done one on the links in Scotland, and it's amazing.
So if you're sitting on a hillside or in a wood or something like that, and you're sitting having your, cheese and cress sandwiches, and if a lynx came up, how would you feel?
You'd be scared, but that's okay, because go to America, go to a lot of other countries. You've got bears, you've got all sorts of things, and that's fine. I think you need to educate yourselves on how to react in that situation. What do I do if there's a lynx facing me, or if there's a bear facing me? You need to be prepared. Right?
Yeah,
you need to be responsible and not leave rubbish, which attracts bears, for example. I think that there is room for both, without doubt. I think we tend to think of things as, oh God, they can kill a human or seriously injure a human, therefore they can't be a thing. Yeah. Certainly here, and this is one thing we get wrong. Yeah, we're not as divisive as America, or we're becoming that way. But I think one thing we do get wrong here is we assume that, reintroduction of the lynx or whatever would be a bad thing, when actually...
Yeah. It's worth looking at the website of the Missing Links Project in Northumberland and maybe just kind of mentally apply that to southern England and see how we go from there, sort of thing. It'd be interesting to see one in the wild.
It would.
Would you like a pet lynx?
Not really. I'm not really into pets, although I have thousands.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
your house is like, you're like Dr. Dolittle when I go over
basically,
there.
You can't move from room to room without being accosted in some way.
Your dogs do accost me.
Yeah, I've got another one coming soon.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Our concern is Bourbon's getting very old, very arthritic. And Bessie would just do a crust if Bourbon disappeared one day.
Oh, I see.
So we are factoring that in very shortly, and within about 3 or 4 months there'll be a... I don't want to call it a Bourbon replacement because that sounds like Bourbon's on his way out, but he's not. But do you know what I'm saying?
See, my other half's having a few muscular issues at the moment. I'm wondering if I should get another woman in as well. To,
I mean, you can factor those things in for the future, right?
Yes,
you'd understand that. So I'd be really upset if you weren't here. So what we need to do
I can say what I want. She'd never in a million years listen to a whole episode of Wessex Ways.
Well, let's put that to your good lady.
And in the comments below, should I be lining up younger, fresher women?
Mrs. Headley. Part 2,
probably
part
knocking
3,
on
but I
time
don't
to
know,
finish this episode, aren't we?
I think we're probably coming to an hour. We're just under an hour, Headley. So before we get lynched by
before we
somebody.
get lynched. If I'm still alive, I'll see you in the next one. Well, thank you very much. We've covered a lot, and we've got other stuff to cover as well. But I think we can roll that into the next episode.
All right.
So not sure when Kate's going to be back. Hopefully soon.
I've been speaking to her lately. She is very excited to get back into all kinds of filming and recording everything. So, she'll be back very soon.
Excellent.
Without doubt.
Excellent. And for that, thank you very much for listening and on YouTube watching. Please give us a like. Please give us a sub and all that sort of stuff. And we will speak to you in the next one.
Bye.